Hello, hello, hi, hi, folks. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. And hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. It is actually Sunday. It sounds a little weird, but like this time I've been going live around this time, and I usually just go to the gym right after. But tonight that's not the case because gym is closed, and so kind of weird. Anyway, let's get into it. I was actually gonna do another live. I think I'll do that tomorrow. But I ran into this story and I thought, wow, that's such a powerful story, right? So I wanted to share that story with you. Now, this story is a little extreme. Okay, can we talk about that? It's a little extreme, but I want you to really focus on what you can draw from the story, right? The takeaway. Of course, I'm going to wrap it up for you with how I take some takeaways, but definitely want to look into what you guys got going on. So anyway, let's get into the story. Getting rid of old stuff that you don't use or you have no use for, or they don't have any use for you anymore. It's a good idea, right? It's a great idea, actually, to clean up and just to go through stuff. Even with, let's call it out, even with people, it's a good idea to clean up your Facebook friends, your Instagram friends, all the followers. I did that a while back and I went through and just, cleaned out. So cleaning up, stuff that you don't use or you don't need anymore. Money, glad you made it. It's a good idea, right? Even people, like I said, getting rid of the people that really you don't talk to, they don't talk to you, they don't really feed your purpose. It's okay to say, see ya, right? In a nice way, obviously. But so tonight's story, it's a little extreme because T-Money just joined. It's a little extreme, but I want you to really focus on what you can draw from this. So the story goes as such. A father and son are farmers, and you guys in that chat, you guys are going crazy. Okay, so I got B Money and T Money in the same chat with me, and I started this chat I don't know how long ago, and the stuff that goes on in that chat is just is amazing. I love it. So yeah, father and son, farmers, right? So the father is old and he can't do it no more, not like the way he used to. So he's sitting on the porch, just kind of kicking back, seeing the field, watching the field as his son is, kind of working in the heat and doing what he does in the farm. And the son, once in a while, he keeps looking back at the pops and keeps thinking to himself, man, this pops, like literally, I have no use for this guy anymore, right? He does nothing and just sits there. So this time goes on and on and on, and the son is getting irritated because now he's got to care for him more, and it's just becoming very, very rough. So one day he comes up to the dad and says he gets a wooden coffin, and he tells his dad to get in the coffin, and the dad doesn't say a word and just gets in the coffin. And the son closes the top and takes the coffin to the edge of the cliff, right? Goes to the edge of the cliff, and as he's standing there, there's a knock on the coffin door, if you would, right? And the son says, "Oh, he's still breathing." He opens the coffin, and obviously the dad is there, and the dad says, I know I know what you're gonna do. And the son says, what do you think I'm gonna do? He goes, I know that you're gonna throw me off the cliff. I know you are. I know that I have no use for you, and I'm just a burden. So you're gonna get rid of me. The son doesn't say a word, and the dad says, but before you do, can I ask you for one last favor? And the son says, what's that? And the dad says, you know what, you may want to keep the coffin. I mean, the coffin is in pretty good shape. You may want to keep the coffin, and because one day your kids may have use for it. Carol, what is going on? How are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Michael, how are you? Welcome, you guys. Hopefully you can circle back and catch the story, because I think it'll blow your mind. It's a little extreme, right? What a punchline. Maybe one day your kids may need to use that coffin, right? Meaning, hey, now I started this by saying getting rid of the stuff you don't need or they have no use for you is a great idea, and I'm a firm believer in that, right? But there is a thing that will switch everything, and really show what a horrible character you have. I got your attention. There's a way to get rid of things. There's a big factor that determines, hey, I got rid of some stuff that I didn't need, or man, I'm just a piece of trash myself, right? And here's what it means. Here's what it is, in my opinion. It's the way you treat the people you don't want in your life anymore. It's the way you treat the things you don't want in your life anymore. It's the way you treat the environment you don't want to be in anymore. See, it's one thing to say, well, I have no use for this thing anymore, right? And you put it in a garage sale, or you give it to somebody, or you donate it, or, you just, put it outside with a sign on it, free. Or you take a sledgehammer and just go to town to it. You know what I mean? There's a difference. There's a way you treat something or someone you don't want. You can tell somebody, hey, you know what? I don't think you and I, it's all good. Separate ways. No problem. And then there's another way that you can, same thing, you're going to go separate ways, but you let each other have it. Like you slice each other up. Alan, what is up? How are you, my man? Good to see you, bro. Right? That's how you treat that situation, that person, whatever thing it is that you don't want in your life anymore. It's the treatment. It's the way you treat it. See, nobody says you got to keep everything and everyone in your life for the rest of your life. Nobody says that. One of the major things that I have in my journal is nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts. There's a period, there's a time frame that things will just not be. Have you looked at some of your posts from 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago? The messages you shared, the memes you shared, they're so different, right? You don't even think the same anymore. It's not even the same technology anymore. It's like the memes you shared 5 years ago, they're like, some of them, they don't even make any sense anymore. It's like, wow. It's the way you treat the people you don't want in your life anymore, that job you don't want anymore, that business you're over with, that friend you can't stand anymore, the closet you want to throw out, that couch you have no use for. There is a way to treat that. And it starts there, because you guys know I'm a big fan of patterns, right? Watching for patterns. And this is a pattern. It starts, where else would it start? Like Jim Rohn says, like, where else would it start? It starts right there, the tiniest things. How you treat something you're going to throw out in the garbage. It starts there. It doesn't start with you how you treat like getting rid of an airplane. Like most of us don't have an airplane. It starts there, small things. That small friend, that coworker, right? So it's the way you treat the no more that makes the big difference and gives you the character. It's important to pay attention to that. And I think it's important to, you know what? I'll tell you what. I'll share this thought with you, okay? And I've never shared this with anybody ever before because this has been silent, but I don't know why it has been silent. Anyway, there was a time that I've shared this before, that I stood with a homeless in line for just a bag of food, groceries. I stood in line. I posted it a couple of weeks ago, right? Pure, how are you? So I literally had to go there at 4 o'clock in the morning because there was like 400 or 500 people there. So I would just wait there, and they would let 40 people in. The first 40 people in. This is so humbling. Anyway, and if you missed it, you'd have to come back the next day, right? So those were really hard, humbling times for me. So ever since then, if I have, I try my best not to throw away food, but you get extras. Anyway, you get to throw away food, right? If I'm throwing away food, in my heart of hearts, I bless it and I ask for forgiveness. Just because I feel bad for throwing away food now. I really do. Like, I don't want to. I don't want to waste it. Because I know how hard it was to get it. So the way I treat that food that I'm going to throw away is different now than it was before. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, throw me some heart, love, hate, whatever, comment, so I know you guys are alive, right? It's different now because now I don't know, I have a different type of gratitude or appreciation for it. So I really appreciate it, I know, dude, it's just it's like, and then you forget something in the fridge and you open it and you're like, oh my God, this went bad. Oh my God, I feel like, but it's the way you treat it. It's that person that you don't want anymore. And like I said, the coworker, the person, the business, whatever it is, the car you don't want anything. It's the way you treat it. I'm here to share with you, be conscious of that. Treat it better. Treat the departure better. Oof, that's so good. T-Money, can you type that down with your big index and thumbs? Can you type it and throw in the comments? Treat the departure differently, with goodness. Treat the departure with goodness, something like that. I cook for my mom, who's like, I gotta ask her how the cooking is, not you. You're the chef. You're the one cooking. Yes, treat the departure with goodness. That's so good. That's so good. I gotta ask her how the cooking is. You post a couple pictures. I mean, you send a couple of pics. The pics, okay, but But yeah, so I'm asking you to be more conscious of that. I'm not saying don't depart. I'm saying treat it with goodness. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, just treat it with more goodness because, never know. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Not picky, because I used to think I'm picky. I like to call it particular. Like I know what I want. And it's weird, and I definitely know what I don't want either, like in food and stuff. Like I do not like pickles or mustard. That is a complete digression from what we talked about in this live. So I'm going to stop it right there. Hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this live. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I appreciate, it's funny, T-Money. capital T, small o, blank, blank, blank. I appreciate you, inside joke. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you got some value and kind of made you think. My goal with this live was when I shared the story, when I shared the takeaway that I had, my goal was for you to immediately go in thought and kind of think about, I could have done better there, or I could, you know what I mean? And be conscious of that and catch that and improve, right? So hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value, enough to share. Tag a couple people or share it on your wall. Do what you gotta do. Spread the love. I appreciate you guys. And I definitely want to know what you guys think about this live. Or if you're brave enough, you want to share a story, drop your story. I love stories. Even if you don't want to drop it here, you can throw it in the chat or text me or whatever. I love stories. So I appreciate you guys. And remember, if you care, then share this live. Tag people to it. Share it on your wall. Do what you gotta do. Hey, Gita, how are you? I'm about to bounce off. Hopefully you catch the replay like always. Thank you. I appreciate you guys like always. Tomorrow, when we do it all over again. Much love.